Is it possible to take a can of tuna and turn it into fish sauce? Let's find out as I commit what may be a culinary crime and turn commercial canned tuna into liquid umami, and probably upset quite a few people in the process. First, let's talk about fish sauce. Sometimes called Asian liquid gold, almost every Asian culture has their own version of fish sauce. Now, usually fish sauce is made from mixing whole anchovies with salt and then leaving it to ferment. And by ferment, what's really happening is the digestive enzymes in the fish's guts are breaking down the protein in the flesh into amino acids, which is what gives that umami or savory flavor, along with, of course, a bit of fishiness, which presents the main challenge of this experiment. A can of tuna doesn't contain a digestive tract to provide those enzymes. So I'm gonna need to find an alternative source of protein processing enzymes. Luckily for me, there is an ingredient which is like a secret weapon for fermentation, and that is koji mold. You see, koji has enzymes that can break down proteins into amino acids, which is why rice koji and other forms of koji are used to make soy sauces and misos and garums, etc. I happen to have quite a lot of rice koji on hand as I make a lot of it myself, and you can check out my video on how I grow a lot of rice koji easily in the link in the description. So with that sorted, let's get this abomination started. I decided to use canned tuna in water for this, as I didn't want to have too much oil that could either go bad or just make this way too greasy. I cracked open each can of tuna and then scooped out the contents into a cheesecloth lined sieve. I then squeezed out all the water from the tuna, but made sure to hold onto it for now. I need to weigh my tuna now to figure out how much water, rice koji, and salt I have to add to this to make this fish sauce. So I zeroed a jug out on a scale and added my tuna. Then based on the weight of the tuna, I calculated 50% water, 20% koji, and 20% salt. I added all three ingredients to the jug along with the tuna and then began mixing everything together. I then transferred everything to a glass jar, then laid some baking paper over top along with a plastic bag with some salt to weigh everything down. Now this is just to protect this from too much air contact. And then I'm gonna set this in my fermentation chamber, which I've set to around 50 to 60 degrees Celsius, and which I've set to turn on and off with the sunrise and sunset. It seems kind of unnecessary, but it kind of makes this whole process sound a little bit more sciencey, just to try and mimic this actually being outside. In total, I probably let this ferment for about a month and a half. I checked it halfway through and it was making decent progress, so I set it back and I just let it keep fermenting. But after that 1.5 months in the fermenter, the color has changed pretty drastically. So I used my screw press to press out as much of the fish sauce, which was now looking quite dark and more like a soy sauce. Using the screw press, I was able to squeeze out pretty much all the liquid to the point that all I was left with is this dry, powdery puck of tuna and rice koji. I also decided to run this through a coffee filter just to try catch any last fine particles, but it was taking quite a while, so I ended up placing this in the fridge overnight while it dripped through. And the next day I transferred this into a glass bottle to keep, but ultimately to taste. So the tuna garum has been in the fridge for a couple days since I finished it, and just looking at it now, it's still looking quite clear, although, you know, there's a very, very light amount of like super fine, what looks like kind of like dust particles at the bottom, which I figure was basically kind of impossible to filter out through a coffee filter. What I will do though is give this a taste now. Before we give it a taste, let's just give it a sniff too. And honestly, it doesn't smell very fishy at all. And this smell doesn't really like remind me of canned tuna. Like I wouldn't think this is canned tuna based off of just the smell, but all that's left though is just to give this a try. I will say that the color isn't as dark as some of the other garums that I've made, especially things like the beef garum or the chicken garum. This also feels like it's a lot thinner as well than those other garums that I made. But then also the smell isn't as strong as those other garums too, but wow. I will say this is probably one of the better garums that I've made though, however. As soon as that hits the tongue, it's like straight into like mouth-wateringly umami, savory, not too fishy at all. You wouldn't tell this is tuna. I couldn't tell this was fish sauce. It really just tastes like a really nice sort of like soy sauce marinated like fish. It's kind of addictive as well. Like I just want to keep going for it. It's like a really good soy sauce as well, even though there's no soy in here at all. I haven't actually had like an unpleasant experience with one of these garums yet. On a surface level, they all kind of taste very similar. They kind of taste like almost like a soy sauce, but each one has its own sort of like defining undertone flavor. This one, however, like I can't really pick out the tuna though. It's just really like a clean umami, like savory flavor. And now that I think about it, if I made a soy sauce with tuna in it, it would actually probably be like mind-blowing. It's given me an idea for the future. Speaking of ideas for the future, if you guys have any more ideas of things to try and turn into garum, mind you, they have to be protein rich in one way or another. Leave them in the comments below and I'm gonna look through and then it could be a part of a future video. And with that said, I'll see you in the next one.